Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are at. Welcome in. Welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5. I'm James FNX, and today I am joined by Ariel. Ari, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, the weather here is a little bit cold, but on the other hand, the league here is just heating up more and more. Like just a couple of weeks left. Like we're ending the tail end of week 6, and so many playoff and relegation on the line. And yeah, this match is no different. Like I think this is pretty much a win or out for Shaktool's digging game. Like they need to win out in order to stay in the invitational, as far as I'm aware.
It's very close. Do have Shaktool's Zigging game on the left, represented by AceZer0 today. And on the right, Bolas Azules, represented by Matkap. You can see there are points totals and by their team name. Shaktool's doing game at 9 points, 3 wins, and Bolas Azules at 18.6 wins. For Bolas Azules and Matkap, a win here. It's very close to locking up playoffs. I don't think it quite gets the job done yet, but getting up to 21 points just before the last week of the season is going to be a big help for them. As for Shaktool Digging Game, they are at the bottom of this Kakariko division right now. One game behind the Spec Rock Bonkers. Uh, Trying to keep pace. Looking at their matchups, they do not have the tiebreaker, so they're going to have to finish a game ahead of that team. With the other team, there are two other teams at 12 points in the division. They're playing each other this week, so if one of those teams sweeps, things could get really interesting in the last week of the season for this group.
Yeah, and AceZer0 has done 6 races so far, so he's been at it. He has yet to get a win, but let's see if this is the one time where you could say at least nobody can say they beat AceZer0 7 times in a row.
I definitely feel for these guys. I was last season I was in the Invitational, and our team was in a very similar spot, trying to scrape up wins at the end of the season. So it's hopefully it's can get a win here and just get feeling good going into the last week.
Yeah, for sure. Because as far as I know, all 3 of them are super good racers. So seeing them on the bottom of the division is rough. Like it's very unexpected.
Yeah, getting things kicked off here. Bombs and Link's House for both our runners. The Shaktool Stadium team, AceZer0, Hitaka, AceZer's always been at the top of tournaments and races. Maybe this team focuses a bit more on the SMZ3 combo randomizer, but they're definitely good runners as we find a couple different starts here. AceZer0 heading over to using those bombs to take a quick look south of Link's house, while Matkap heading over to take a look at Uncle Drop in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, 2 very decent starts. Usually when you see Link's house starts, it's either the castle or like the fake flipper over to the witch's hut and then setting up for a hula hand. But AceZer getting some early bombs here, which is gonna help out a lot. Madcat with a quick save and quit, and then Sank found Ganon already. Sank is vanilla, but with some extra early health, that's definitely going to help in cross keys. It's very easy to take some extra damage depending on what dungeons or caves you find.
Yeah, for you finding yourself in the dark while trying to bunny walk over to one location or another. Do you find out that Swamp Palace and Ice Palace are 5/6 crystals thanks to the bomb shot vendor? And speaking of bombs, our bush crab's having a ton of bombs today.
Yeah, it's some nice comfy early game. Like sometimes you have to scramble and spend money in order to get your bombs, and then you're not going to have enough for later stages. But looks like we're going to be a-okay right here.
Drop down also vanilla, just a matte. Not gonna worry about that.
Always nice to know that we're not going to have an AD key situation where it's always the castle tower key go mode. But finding some early item caves, already a couple of single item caves and no hype cave. With an early glove as well. That's one of those prime items to find early on. Not having to worry about isolating stuff in the shopping mall or anywhere around South Shore. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is frankly, it's a lot more important than even in normal rando. Like you're gonna need gloves in normal rando, but the locations where love-locked caves are at in this game are very spread out. So getting a glove early means you get to route all those in. You're not leaving things behind. Just makes things a lot more efficient.
Definitely. Okay, blind checking this one makes sense. Oh, nice. Early well as well.
Yeah, the well not being locked in behind one of these 2 dungeon locations, pretty good to see. AceZer0 cutting through desert, getting a couple checks in, is going to follow one of these connectors over.
Yeah, it's always the question, how early should you follow connectors and how much do you want to commit to bunny walking? With the early pseudo boots, sometimes it can feel risky to just bunny walk a lot because you can't really make use of them, but here we find East of Mountain and that could lead to a pretty deep sequence of connectors.
Yeah, the more caves you have access to, the more likely you're to find dungeons, and just the faster you're able to build a route out. I tend to really like hitting connectors up in this mode.
And there we found another one of our desert
The
connectors.
other, well, that's actually really nice because the other desert connector is inaccessible now. So if AceZer0 gets done here and wants to go back, he can.
All the item caves, mini molten cave, fire shed. We're going to run out of all the deep density. Oh,
Oh no!
Luckily, it's just a quick reset. Nothing bad. We found a GT big key. That's our first big key of the seed. That's always a great one to find.
Is it though? Is it always a great one to find?
No, it's not. Always needs to be careful. No, that rock was too aggressive.
Yeah, dead rocks doing what dead rocks do. It is okay though. This is an area that, thankfully, we got desert connectors over here. It's quick to get back to. Plus, later on, if you find a mirror, you can do some get that check a little more efficiently that way. So, not the worst place to end up dying at.
It's not. That's not terrible at all. There was only one cave that he missed out on.
Yeah.
Which also helps a lot.
Fairy vanilla as well. So we've got a lot of vanilla drops today. Thankfully, Ganon is not vanilla to set the castle. And Matkap has found Palace of Darkness. He's going to pop in for a little bit.
And with the one small key, at least we can get 2 extra checks in. I don't know if Matkap is a fan of mimic clipping. Be able to get like 5 checks out of this would be pretty beneficial as well. Get some information about what might or might not be bow locked.
Yeah, it's always if it's something you're not super comfortable with, I don't think you do it here. There's just so many things to do right now. Rather than spend the time trying to get those 2 items. But if it is something that's deep in Matkap's arsenal and he's very comfortable with the mimic flip, then there's no reason not to at least give it a try or 2.
Yeah, some people just can do it unbuffered so fast, and then it hardly feels like an investment. If it's not that comfortable and you need to multiple attempts with like menu or select buffering, then yeah, it might not be worth it. But it does look like Matkap is going to go for it.
Yeah, gonna give it a shot here, and AceZer0 is gonna follow up on some of the checks that Matkap did. Ace has not found those gloves yet, though.
Yeah, looks like he'll find them in just a little bit. And then I think we'll probably see like the back of Escape pretty soon as well. Oh, look at this. That's so clean.
So smooth.
Yeah, if you have it in your arsenal like that, then it definitely makes sense that you just go for it.
It's just free at that point. Yeah, Ace getting that glove now, so we'll see how quickly Ace prioritizes those glove checks. Not seeing it pay off a ton for Matkap yet. Did pick up that burner. Has picked up a lot of health. Really healthy seed so far.
Yeah, this is pretty nuts. 7 minutes and 9 hearts. Ace is just gonna forgo that.
None of my practice has ended up like this. I've been on like 3 or 4 hearts for half an hour in a lot of my seeds.
Yeah, that's been my experience as well. So yeah, give me more of this. Yeah, the member clip like paid off with a burner. We'll see how much that is going to matter in the grand scheme of things. It might just be a nice little safety for early on if you don't have the sword yet and want to go through Spiral Cave, for example. But
Yeah,
we're gonna need some magic first as well.
absolutely. And Matkap does make a beeline for the Mac of Escape. 3 checks in here.
Okay,
Another
that one would have been
Cod's
nice.
Fall. That's another couple items in law, or not necessarily in launch. You need 4 for the back, but theoretically you could get another 4 items out of the darkness if so chooses.
Yeah, there's definitely some items you could get. Might want to wait until you get either the lamp or a sword for some easier darkroom navigation.
Yeah. Hyrule Castle for AceZer0 is going to head and take a look at the front.
Yeah, probably gonna see some bomb strats here. Oh, nice vanilla book. We're not able to get that one yet. It looks like the library moves just a few feet.
Yeah. If you are new to this week, this is pseudo boots. Our runners get the ability to dash to start out with, but aren't able to do things like break bonk rocks, knock things off torches, knock things off the library. The bonk distance is a little bit less in a kind of a bounce, so you can't bonk over pits. It's most of the things that you would try and do with boots you can do. You just can't do some of the item collecting and sequence breaking you would be able to do with them.
Yeah, all the quality of life things like spin speed and item dashes do work. But any of the things that actually matter logic-wise are not accessible. It's a nice middle ground to be able to give the skill expression that boots usually give, but still make the boots an item that you do want to find for logic purposes. Yeah, we did find Uncle here as well, which means that... Oh, nice early Moon Pro as well. This is gonna be a pretty open early game.
Yeah, early Moon Pearl, we haven't found any ways into the Dark World as of yet, but there are 2 more connectors here at Hyrule Castle. That's a problem for AceZer0.
Yeah, I think reloading the room here is pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah, smart.
I think otherwise you would need to use 4 extra
Technically, you
bombs.
could do it with 4 bombs in another pot, but why would you want to?
Yeah, exactly. Bombs are valuable resources, even if they are pretty accessible with the bush crabs and all. But
Found ether in the back of the tavern. Matkap can fill up on bombs here in the storehouse. And there's a sword. That sword is locked in behind the Hyrule Castle's home key. Not that Ace is going to complain about that.
yeah, I'm not sure how much is that, if at all, that's going to be in his mind. I think it's one of the best things to find early on. Just having an actual weapon. Okay, we found the top of Hyrule Castle as well. And one of our connections to the Dark World. Okay, decides to just... That makes sense.
Yeah, you're not going to spend a ton of time bunny walking here. That Hyrule Castle connector pretty quick, so once Matkap gets a way to open up the Aghanim Tower door, there'll be another location to check. But back to Kakariko for now. Let's see where AceZer0 goes with his sword. It's back of escape.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I think after that, he'll probably be following Matkap into Kakariko.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much longer to that Moon Pearl. And then AceZer0 already knows the way into the Dark World, Matkap doesn't, so that's a little bit of an advantage here early.
Yeah, maybe AceZer0 with that sword might as well be more inclined to dive deeper into Pod once he gets to Kakariko and finds it.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a nice connector as well to find. But
I'm gonna put it off for a second. I'll get those items later. I want to get Rusty's Kakariko entrances at least.
also a good way to fill up the magic. Nice bottle with a fairy.
Yeah, bottle vendors selling a bottle. Library one location away. A lot of things. A half magic. There's a good item here in Thieves Town in Kakariko.
One less reason to go into Super Bunny.
Yep.
It's so much quality of life early on. Like half magic with that burn edit. Oh wow, okay.
And a hook shot. And
We
we
did
do
find
know
Hookshot Cave, yeah.
we found Hookshot Cave. We've also found a way onto East Death Mountain, so that'll be a way to the west side. Death Mountain accessible through Desert Palace. So between these two runners, we're kind of getting an idea of what the game is expecting us to do. Kind of get this Moon Pearl and start exploring these dungeon connectors.
What a stacked early game though. Early Swamp small as well, helps out quite a bit.
Getting very close to the point where most of the world is accessible. If we find a hammer soon, you'll end up having access to just about every location you could think of. And for my seat, that kind of makes things a little bit more difficult in terms of how to route things efficiently, where to hunt for connectors versus dungeons. You get a little bit of decision paralysis when you have that many choices.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather just have a little bit of a tight early game and then slowly be able to work your way throughout more of the world, instead of it almost being like a normal inverted seed where you get your light world access and the entire world is your oyster.
Exactly.
Where do you go?
Looks like Matkap is gonna head back. I think this was Castle Tower. Not gonna bother with that right now.
I think the first chest would have been doable, just with the burn and half magic that he had. But I also imagine that you would want to wait a little bit until you maybe find one of the small keys.
Yeah, choosing instead to do this hook shot Super Bunny Cave. Got the hook shot now. Can clip through these blocks, make it a little bit faster. If I get the second clip, but still saved a bunch of time.
Somaria and Quake in Pod Basement. That's something that Matkap might not come back to for just a little bit.
Yeah, it really depends on what we find here, where Super Bunny takes us out, and what Matkap finds here, whether we'll be back to Kakariko soon or not. None of the save and quit locations are particularly... there's a lamp, so that'll put that pod play more into Matkap's mind. But none of our start locations are particularly close to Kakariko right now. It's a little bit of an investment getting over there.
I found another way to Death Mountain right here. So we'll probably get our save and quit point from the old man pretty soon.
Yeah, unless he's chilling out in Hera.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, that's right. Last item here in Pod from AceZer0 side. Okay, another one. Yeah, that's a little awkward.
I
Makes
was
it
going
hard
to
to
save
death
and
warp.
quit, but not anymore. I was going to death warp, but not anymore. Ace is going to head back to Kakariko. Matkap did find the Old Man Rescue. So that'll be two more starting locations.
Yeah.
Matkap, no! The Old Man takes forever when you turn him in from the right.
I always love it when Old Man does that.
Magic shop in a fairly easy to get to location.
Very Very nice. Okay.
Thanks,
Ice
pals. Can't do
balls.
anything in there yet, but good to know where that's at.
We did find the big key for that, so it might be on people's mind. Okay, we found... That's the back of Old Man. That's nice.
That's a really good starting spot for back of Old Man. If front of Old Man is like in the Dark World, that would be perfect.
Yeah, if it would be in Village of the Outcast or something, with an early mirror, you also have easy access to Kakariko.
Yeah. He's picking up that hook shot and half magic out of Thieves Town. Last check on the left side for Matkap. And then I presume we'll see him head over, take a look at the east side of Death Mountain. We'll get to see that one cave that Ace missed dying out on the overworld.
Yeah. Or he's gonna do the Dark Death Mountain spots on the left side, also possible.
Moonpool was in the Uncle drop down. That was...
Oh, was it
I believe.
No, I think it was in the Bat drop down. Right here in Kakariko as well.
Oh, right. We get it from front because it's Uncle. Saw's Closet sitting on the dark side of West Death Mountain, and Misery Mire are green it today. Another pod small. 2 pods. So
Okay.
So that puts that Samaria in logic now. We found the lamp. We have 4 small keys.
Yeah, and with 4 smalls, I would be a little bit more incentivized to come back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll be able to clear out just about everything. Matkap already doing that mimic clip. I think this was the front side of Hookshot Cave? Or back side of Hookshot Cave. So, back to Kakariko by way of 4 items.
Okay, let's hope that AceZer0 is able to come back from this connector, so it doesn't skip out on a Moon Pearl. Oh, that was this connector, right?
Yeah,
okay.
this is the Hyrule Castle connector, so we'll be able to come back easily. Yeah, I don't think there was anything other than the Super Bunny connector that was one way out of Kakariko, I think. Eastern Palace Big Key, our big prize out of Hookshot Cave.
Ace does decide to make it a one-way connector, and we'll see the last drop down here.
Yeah, I'll find out that this is Ganon and that there's a 50-50 between Uncle and I believe it's Magic Bat is the one
Yeah.
we've not seen.
I think so as well, yeah.
But Ace is gonna leave Kakariko for the time being, leave that Moon Pearl for the time being, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it's very possible that Ace decides to just do South Shore first as well before coming back.
Matkap checking that cave that Ace missed out on, nothing in there, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, no big time loss there then.
He's giving us our first look at the Eastern Palace area. Didn't look if there's anything of note at the Flute Spot. Palace itself just has a shop.
Yeah, coming to this area pretty early makes sense, because some people do prioritize the eastern area pretty soon after doing like a Houlihan or something.
Yeah, and this is the desert entrance that Ace found earlier.
High five.
Gonna head back to Death Mountain and head to the west via Hookshot.
Yeah, nice sequence this way.
Getting those 2 entrances that he missed out on, and then getting to take a look at this cave that he missed out on earlier, unless a Tektite bullies him again.
That Tektite is actually pretty hard to deal with at times.
Yeah.
Okay. Sigh of relief from Ace. Okay, didn't miss anything important here. Oh.
Yeah, the red Tektites are really hard to deal with. He'll deal 2 hearts of damage on green mail. Oh, if Hookshot came from the front, he's gonna find out that this takes him to Death Mountain on the other side.
Oh, I get to see what the front of Old Man is. That's...
Could be better, that's for sure.
Yeah, not particularly enticing.
So no easy ways into the Dark World from our starting positions. Do you know the Hyrule Castle has a path in?
Yeah, the pod entrance isn't exactly the fastest way to get to the rest of the Dark World either.
No. Do you have a hookshot though? So hookshot and a glove. So access to the entire Dark World through a very, very long loop. Really gonna hope to find a mirror before any of that though.
Yeah, definitely. I bet the runners are just really itching for a hammer or a mitts just to get normal Dark World access in that way.
And Ace finds Saha, but no Moon Pearl. Can't get the items out of the back.
He's gonna be missing out on those 2 pod small keys. They're hiding back there.
Yep.
Alright. Another item cave with King's Tomb. Some money. Okay, looks like Ace is just going back to East Death Mountain to hook over.
Yeah, makes sense at this point.
Matkap with a little bit of an early advantage with that Moon Pearl, just making sure that any connectors that he does find will actually benefit him a bit more than just purely the information. But Ace has a couple of good items as well. Has been pretty efficient throughout the early game. It's really just the Moon Pearl that's eluding him so far.
Yeah, that Samaria could lead to somebody checks if we find a Rock main entrance. But this Moon Pearl is just giving Matkap a little bit more efficiency hitting these. We haven't found a lot of very in-the-way entrances into the Dark World, but Matkap is able to clear out these 2 caves at the bottom of Dark East Death Mountain and just forget about them, whereas AceZer0 might have to come back at some point.
Yeah.
There's a lamp for Ace.
Yeah, that was just a great quality of life item to find. Being able to easily find connector, like follow connectors that Matkap just went through, for example, it helps a lot. Instead of having to keep them in your mind and then...
Yeah, most runners are pretty comfortable with the dark rooms you have in dungeons, but you don't often have to go through Death Mountain Descent in the dark when you're playing Rando, so having that lamp helps out a lot there.
Alright. Lightworld Shopping Mall gives us a Mimic Cave, but we don't have a hammer to really use that yet. And also the Spiral Cave. Alright. Yeah, Matkap doesn't have that sword yet that we found in Hyrule Castle, but it does have a hookshot to deal with all the annoying enemies here.
Yeah, not hurting so much yet for not having that sword. Burner will help out a lot. This hookshot will help out a lot. It does have a lot of ways to navigate the world. Skullwood's big key. Not a dungeon locker, but nice to find before you get deep in the Dark World. You don't want to have to come back to Skullwoods for one check.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we go. We finally have a way into uh, a little bit of the dark world.
Yeah,
Kind of unfortunate with what we have that we're only able to get like 4 or 5 entrances out of this.
yeah. At least you'll be able to do things like Stumpy and Digging Game. Oh, we do find another connector here. No need to hover over for that item. Not that we can, actually, we don't have actual boots. Ignore
Yeah,
me. It's nice, something to keep in mind. Maybe if you do find the other entrance in a more accessible location, you can just bomb over instead of having to follow things like Spiral Cave every single time.
right.
Those need to be careful. Only 2 hearts left and no mail upgrade yet. We did see that one of them was on race game. But until we find a very specific connector or the mirror, we're not going to be able to get that.
Yeah, I gotta be real careful here. A lot of enemies in the dark world do deal 2 hearts of damage, and with no sword, dashing is kind of a dicey proposition at times. Chess game. Bomb shot with Turtle Smoky.
Okay, so rocks, very nice to have early on.
Probably more importantly for Matkap right now, the random item is a small heart, so he'll be able to absorb a hit now.
Yeah, exactly, that's very true. It looks like it's kind of following Madcap here, so if he does follow Spiral Cave as well.
Some more is that even randomized for you? Or Stumpy having a shovel?
All right, well, maybe it is going to be the flute right there in the digging spot. Nice. We'll find East Darktooth Mountain here as well.
Kept finding Swamp Palace. Didn't look like there's enough money for the digging game, so yeah, only 61 rupees. Money has been pretty tight this year.
Yeah, we haven't really. We only found a bottle fender, but still, I guess all of the drops and pulls and so far have been bombs.
Yeah,
It looks like Ace is going back to Kakariko, so maybe this is the time for the Moon Pearl.
yeah, that'll be nice if Ace can get this pearl and get back to somewhat even footing back half. At least in terms of items. The sword in Samaria are kind of an advantage right now. Powder's sitting on high item. And Ace does find the uncle will get Moon Pearl here shortly.
Right. Yeah, the small delay hasn't hurt Ace too much. I think it's mostly the back of Sahasrara that he hasn't been able to do in one go.
Yeah,
Get
that's about the only thing that he's missed out on, and uh, for all of the extra work he's put into that point, he's gotten that sword, gotten Samaria. Picked up a Quake medallion. Was that in Pod as well, or was that in?
Yeah, that was next to Samaria in the basement of Pod.
Finally picking up that ether in the back of tower.
Yeah, quite a few utility items so far, but we don't have anything to really finish off dungeons yet. He's finding the other half. Super Bunny. I think we're mostly done with Kakariko here. You might try to follow the Hyrule Castle connectors after this.
Yeah, I think that's probably what you want to do at this point. One of them drops you out at Palace of Darkness, which said slow to get out of, but we'll have access to the entire Dark World from that position.
Yeah, at some point you will want to do the pod area anyway, so you might as well start from the back then and move towards the mainland. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, once you do a sweep, you probably never have to go back. So out. You're never gonna have to pay 100 rupees to Kiki.
Yeah, hopefully, because we don't really have that money to spare.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting his last bits of information here. Finding checkerboard, finding the library. Seeing that poor blue mill probably won't ever get picked up. Especially since we haven't really gotten that much more health since the 9-minute mark, but
yeah,
like this is pretty much a comfortable spot to be at.
Shovel paying off with 1 arrow. That's not what you want to see.
There's a unique item in the light world. All right, Ace, what's the plan now? And from Matkap.
This is Harold Castle, yeah. So Ace is gonna make his way. Take a look at Dark Cross. Now we got this lamp. No, nope. Not gonna bother with Dark Cross. I actually kind of like this. Like you, Tara, you can get back here very quickly. It's a lot more things to do out in the world than go spend a minute or so going to get 1 item. It is unfortunate, but we do have a quick way back to Cat Creek from here.
Matkap probably is going to be able to give us 1 more check than Ace gave us here. We'll probably see Harness Hallway. Maybe not, though. Like, 4 keys is an awkward spot, because you do kind of want to keep one of those small keys, potentially, for Helma.
Yeah, once you've opened the front door, you're kind of, do I want to... And we're also a bow and a hammer away from being able to beat this, and a big key. So maybe you just say, I'll give up the 4th small key.
Nice Chester.
Or set up a death warp and scum it.
Yeah, also possible. Smart to grab all the money here after the early issues.
Yeah. And just a map in the back of Hyrule Castle in that Dark Cross chest. Does open up Harmless Hellway for Skullwood Small. Nice to have 1 of those. But we already had 1, so that's 2.
Yeah, first one is a big benefit. The second one, not so much per se.
Say Matkap pull hammer up here. Ace taking a look at stuff we've already seen over here in Ice Shroud Cave area.
Yeah, it looks like Ace is going to be able to follow into the Dark World as well. And then we'll see, like, he'll definitely have enough money for digging game. So let's just hope that that's nothing that Matkap is going to be sad about not getting early on.
Right. Matkap did want to set up a death warp, just got a fairy. It's about to be kind of unpopular. We did get rid of it in time, so good on Matkap getting rid of that fairy in time to set up that death warp.
There was a second fairy even, right? So
yeah.
It's been a abundance of fairies so far.
All right. Check a death here. If there's nothing in this chest, you just reset your console. Pretty sure.
Pretty smart play right here. Yeah. There we
go. Just some bombs in there. Gonna get that key back for later. Ace gonna have to be kind of careful. 1-hit territory here in the Dark World.
Yeah, both of them being low on health in this section of the world. Matkap's still without that early sword from Zelda's Cell, though. Okay, we haven't seen the Witch's Hut yet, so
I think we did. I think one of the runners walked over to it. But I'm not positive. But Matkap's gonna head up here, take a look at Witch Hut, and then may do the Houlihan back to get up to Zora money.
Oh, that's a smart play too.
Zora in launch with that glove.
I'm be following Bumper Cave in reverse. This isn't logic.
Yep. Hookshot does get you through on that side. Not a great connector, though, just taking it at Bonk Rocks.
Okay, and Ace following this connector right here. Gonna get some safety here.
Yeah, new information here. Matkap did not follow this connector, so we'll see what this takes Ace out at. Good one to remember for later, the Turtle Rock Ledge.
Oh, interesting, interesting big key to find. Not strictly required, especially with the hookshot that we have early on. But yeah, it's always the question: what are we gonna do now? The options are dwindling. It's not that we don't have anything to do, but they're all awkward connector sequences and long travel times.
Yeah, I think the play at this point is getting over to the Palace of Darkness area and start exploring in that general area. Matkap did pick up the first item out of Castle Tower, which unfortunately was just bombs.
Yeah, Ace falling over to the witch side as well. We'll end up outside of Bonk Rocks, and then I guess we'll just be continuing over to Kakariko after.
Yeah, kind of hard to. Kind of hard to do anything else at this point. Matkap trying to set up a Death Warp has not to follow these Hyrule Castle connectors yet. So this is actually going to work out pretty well for Matkap if he heads out the right side.
Yeah, I would imagine that he clears out the rest first, gets his sword as well, and then we're pretty much going to be on parity.
Yep.
Oh, is Ace going to go back to Spiral Cave? That's about it. That's a pretty long trip as well. Ah, the second guessing.
It is sometimes kind of hard to figure out your route on the fly as you're trying to get through. Trying to figure out how the quickest way to get to certain locations is. It's just so very different from normal rando.
Yeah, especially like the early mid game in cross keys is really rough at times when you have all these different connectors that somewhat leads to somewhere where you need to go. And figuring out which one is the most optimal, especially if it's your third or fourth time through.
Right. I've definitely had AceZer like, oh, your best path to the Dark World is going through Turtle Rock. And then I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Ace is the first one to get back over here to House of Darkness area with the Moon Pearl. Kiki's going to follow us a little bit and then be very angry we're not taking him back to the Palace of Darkness entrance.
Yeah, steals 10 rupees nonetheless. Oh, okay. This could be really, really good.
Yeah, Tower Terror, we've got our big key. We've got a hook shot, so we didn't actually need the big key, but glad to have it anyways. Gonna grab this cash because we're very starved for money to see it. Matkap getting that sword basement on his eldest self. Pretty convenient location for Hera too. Once we find a flute and get some real Dark World access to get back to this basement if need be.
Oh, let's hope not.
Yeah, of course.
Ace being very smart, realizing that we can't actually bonk over the gap here.
Yep.
Bombos.
That's all three medallions.
That's ice, potentially.
That is also potentially dip into Ice Palace.
It's not in logic yet, though, because the sword isn't in logic yet, but that's still... Yeah, if fire is behind fire, that big key could be very, very relevant. This Matkap is not going to get that on this trip.
And who wants a vanilla Moldorm fight? That's what we got here.
I love it. Very nice fight from Ace, though.
Yeah, very well done by Ace. GT Small as a reward. And Crystal number 1 on the board for AceZer0.
All things considered, 42 minutes, not all that bad for a first Crystal in Cross Keys. Despite all the early items, it has been a somewhat slow start just because we didn't have a really good way to get a completable dungeon. But looks like we're making good headway going into the mid-game here.
I forget where that Tower Hera big key was at. This is a Fairy Ascension connector for Ace. I'm not going to take it right now.
I don't remember which connector it was towards the Turtle Rock Bridge, but it wasn't like the left side of Turtle Rock Bridge.
Oh, right, yeah, it was the one item entrance on the left side of Turtle Rock Ledge. Sick kid giving us a key to his heart, a key to Misery Mire.
Okay, if his heart is misery, then that's pretty accurate.
Listen, have you played Rando?
Sick kid always has the goods. Alright, great. See the pyramid here. We're going to see Matkap follow suit. Don't expect too much divergence here in East Dark World.
No. And Ace is going to head up, use his hookshot to get across.
I mean, Matkap could potentially follow the Fairy Ascension Cave. But that's such a long way from this side.
It is. Ace says no to Catfish.
Oh, that's surprising. Also to Dark Witch. That's.
I would 100% say yes to Catfish and Dark Witch here. I never want to have to go back to that area late in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Matkap is following that as well, so we are going to see some divergence. That's great.
Yeah, I think when you have a connector that is traversable in both directions, and you're still you don't have a good way into Village Outcast, you don't have a good way to a lot of places, doesn't turn out to work out for Matkap here, but I think it's usually a good idea to take this connector. There's not a lot of places you're going to get locked out at. I think Matkap has already seen the Bonk Rocks connector, so that's one place that you couldn't reverse into.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a pretty good assessment.
Matkap getting that Misery Mire key as well. And take a look at the pyramid and that piece of art. Blind's Hut for AceZer0 here. 5 quick checks.
Yeah, I think it's the last 5 checks. We haven't found Paradox yet, right?
We've not found Paradox. We've did find Hookshot Cave. We found Hype. We found another one. So, and we found the well. So yeah, the Paradox Cave is our last big item bonanza.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Once we find Eastern, that's gonna be fully completable.
Yeah. Matkap is gonna
shambles.
I mean, not really. We've got the big key. I'm not really skipping anything at this point. Matkap finds Eastern Palace. So this is a slightly unfortunate. Eastern Palace sitting at a Dark Witch Hut.
Eastern Diver's in shambles now.
Absolutely. Somewhere Zelgadistan is watching and laughing.
Oh, but who is laughing now? That's, like, depending on how long it takes to get to Dark Witch, like, that hammer could be more relevant at first.
Oh, yeah. That opens up the Dark World in mostly its entirety. We'll need those boots to open up a couple locations, but real good find for Matkap there in the first chest, Eastern Palace.
And the flippers from AceZer0 right here in the Skull Woods vanilla big key chest, so we're finding big items all across the board.
Yeah, all you had to do is walk through Hyrule Castle and go to one of the worst locations to traverse from. That's all.
No soft lock woods today either, which is always very nice. Pretty friendly seed, all things considered.
Yes. Fifth Palace Direction Small Key. So that dungeon fully clearable now. Outside of Big Chest and Boss, we still need that big key.
Yeah, the small key wasn't gonna do much for Matkap, considering he already safe scummed one of the chests. But it's still nice to. It's going to be very nice to have for AceZer0 once he gets to Eastern.
Yep. Another Turtle Rock Small in Skull Woods.
We haven't found any of those entrances yet either. There's a couple of dungeons that we just haven't really had much access to. Oh, nice. Being able to get a trip back to the entrance. Just a little bit too high there. Doesn't matter too much.
Remember, it has to hookshot across and can't just bonk over.
And another Mire Small on Matkap's side, so that's quite a bit of access in the dungeon there. I guess the Mire Smalls are mostly like the Skullwood Small. The first one is very nice to have, and the second one is like, yeah.
Yeah, the first one's really nice. The second one is, and the third one is maybe I should check the locations that these three keys are right away.
Yeah, exactly. It's like oh, left side's in logic now. That's cool. All right, we're gonna get our catfish here as well. Oh, all right. That is going to be very checkable from Matkap's side with that hammer.
Yeah, Ace is only going to be able to get these 2 checks here. Could theoretically climb. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, with one small key, that feels a little bit greedy, maybe. I'm not sure if he feels inclined to go all the way to the right and just bomb jump for the... like with the land.
Yeah. Seems like a fairly aggressive play with as much of the world as open. It's kind of like if you can do it quickly, great. But I don't know if I'd even be inclined to dig that deep into GT right now. Even if I had Fire Rod.
I think with the Fire Rod, I would probably do it just to be as thorough as possible. But I can't blame anyone for not doing it. Yeah, it's just gonna stay in logic here. Checking this item makes sense. Just see what's on the torch.
Small key, already found Swamp Small, got a bunch of Pod Smalls. So kind of unlikely that small key is relevant. Could be locking an item or two in, say, Desert Palace or Thieves' Hera, but not something that's going to be locking progression in this seed.
Yeah, not considering we already found most of the important ones. Like, for all he knows, it's going to be one of the pod keys, because he's only on 2, even though Matkap's already on 5. Okay, I missed where we found the bag of skull. Was this Dark Shopping Mall?
It might be. We'll check here in just a second.
Yeah, I would imagine that we cleared this.
Matkap's gonna go ahead and beat this dungeon. It is a crystal. Do you see that C up in the upper left-hand corner? No Fire Rod, no problem. This, unlike the GT bomb drop, this one is just actually free.
Yeah. There's only the hand that you need to be careful of, but that's somehow the added shooter in GT just makes it near impossible.
Oh yeah.
Alright, this is going to be a pretty important digging game as well. Matkap didn't have money for this the first time when he came to this area, but oh, that's a pretty relevant sword. Okay, I'm pretty sure that Matkap will come back to this area, like, at some point, but until then, that sword difference, I don't know. Fighter to master is so... It feels so relevant.
It really does. And that's a check that Matkap may not get to for a while. AceZer0 money may choose to do that before heading over to, especially if you find like a mirror or something soon. Like if your mirror drops here on Mothla, then things get really interesting. Nice fight from Matkap.
Yeah. Hammer Moth can be surprisingly tricky.
Just a small key to Ice Palace. That's another. That's both Ice Palace small keys. So that dungeon. We had Smario already, but 100% in logic now with that sorted big game.
Yeah, Ace will probably be clearing that in just a little bit as well. Matkap is looking to fake Flipper back over to continue his Dark World checks. Fake Flippering in this area always scares me. There's just so much going on. But Matkap's going through it pretty safely. Very nice. So he'll be finding his bow in just a little bit, and then yeah, probably will making his way back to Eastern at some point.
Yep. I would assume so. He's trying to sneak in between those pits. Does miss it a little bit, but
Get some health in return.
Yeah. Discretion always the better part of valor.
AceZer0 choosing extra violence with bombos instead of ether. Oh no! Just a little bit too far to the left. Unfortunate.
Curiosity shop, nothing going on there.
Right, in the meantime, AceZer0 also found the pod big, which means that that's going to be clearable very soon as well, once Ace finds some extra smalls.
Yep. Yeah, Ace is going to be able to single dip Eastern Palace. He's going to be able to... As you were going to use Bombos before, just use it now.
Yeah, speaking of that Bombos, by the way, like, once Ace finds Eastern, finds that hammer, that ice is looking pretty juicy.
Yep.
And that's something
that is something that is, yeah, completely not an option for Matkap. Great fight, but AceZer0 does get it done. Pick up crystal number 2 for both the runners now.
Still very, very close race. There's been a lot of overlap in between what our runners have done over the course of the seed so far. It's mostly just that Matkap found Eastern, dove it without the bow, and did find the hammer, and AceZer0 is just still kind of looking throughout the Dark World without the actual axes.
Yeah, but yeah, Ace is probably going to head up to Dark Potion Shop now after certainly not saving quitting from here, so...
Yeah, and that's definitely a good sign for him. Probably taking the portal back over to Northeast Dark World.
Yeah, Matkap about to grab these flippers too out of Skullwoods. So the big difference between these two runners right now... No.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that hesitation was scary. All right. Giving us a heart attack here.
The big difference between these two runners right now is Matkap has those extra pod small keys from Strassless Closet on West Dark Death Mountain. But AceZer0 has this Bombos Medallion from Tower Hera Big Chest that opens up Ice Palace for him.
This is not Northeast Dark World. Oh, this is the ferry connector. Okay.
Yeah, this will at least not lock Ace out.
Yeah, the question is if he's going to go back and then go to Witch Hut, or is just going to save and quit and maybe just go straight to Ice.
Goodbye, Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that area is not going to be super easy to get back to.
No, you're gonna have to go through that Hyrule Castle connector again. Gonna do this digging game, get that unique item in the light roll.
A very important one. The Arrow of Destiny.
And then, yeah, like you said, I think it's gonna follow that Bombos Medallion. And Matkap already beating Skullwoods, doesn't need to hold on to that key. Doesn't need to wait for Grabby Hand.
This probably this is this Sahasra then?
No, this is Ice Palace is up here. If I remember.
Oh, Ice Palace is up here, right? Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Matkap finds GT, has Hammer, has Hook Shot, and has Thoughts. Gonna wait a minute.
Makes sense. There's other locations still here that he can do first.
Yeah, and with no mirror, having to commit to doing the entire left side before checking anything else.
I'm definitely wondering what the best case scenario for Ace here would be. I guess Fire Rod would definitely still.
Fire Rod pre-hammer is definitely what Ace is looking for here. I mean, Ace is looking for a hammer. He's not going to find it, but Ace's teammates sweating along with us are definitely hoping for a Fire Rod in here.
Pack of Turtle Rock.
4 free checks here. In logic, we got that burn up. A 5th check too, because we got a lamp in Samaria, so we can take a look at.
You could even continue all the way back to the front. We have a lot of small keys.
That seems really aggressive. Turrock Big Key is locked in behind this Bombos Medallion so far.
Nice start clip. Okay, I mean, one of those is okay to find. I don't think we're complaining too much about one of them. Yeah. We know we don't need the second one, so.
Nice left to right bomb jump from AceZer0 there. That one's hard to pull off.
Yeah, it's definitely not as free as the other way around.
And Matkap is gonna take this at least to Lava Bridge and Chain Chomps. check some connectors out of this. Matkap hasn't seen Turrock Ledge, hasn't seen. None of our runners have seen Bumper Cave Top or Floating Island, so.
Yeah, there's still quite a few locations that we don't have access to yet. I don't think we've seen, like, top of Dr. Mountain in general either, right?
No. No, we saw the bottom from Matkap. There's the fire rod sitting in lava chest, locked behind 4 Turtle Rock small keys.
And then looks like the Bombo is not gonna give us what we hope for in AceZer side. So that Hera big, not looking like the answer.
Smart use of burner there to get through chain chomps without too much damage. Yeah, so Bombos, if it's locking one of these entrances, might still be important, but not going to be the answer to lock out Ice Palace. And Matkap will be able to single dip that dungeon now.
Yeah. It's gonna be very quick too, with all the keys available.
The keys got Samaria. It's basically going to be the fastest possible full clear. It's getting all these pod spawns.
Yeah, would probably lead them back to that, but that's gonna cost for a triple dip as well. Still doesn't have the hammer yet to complete it.
Nilsson now has put in chat that that's going to open up right side of GT and Logic now too.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, it makes a full clear a lot more attractive. We only have one small key, but still.
Let's see where GT takes us out at, as Ace does follow these small keys from House of Darkness. He's going to clear out this dungeon.
Okay, that's certainly an entrance. Well, this is extra reasonable because Ace hasn't done the Bolas side yet either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matkap had that super fast mimic clip, but not in AceZer's arsenal, or at least not wanted to spend time on it.
Oh no, the bomb's gone! Yeah, Ace without any bombs right now.
There's 2 bombs in this cave, in this room, so it's not a big deal. Gets that Burna.
Matkap filling up some bottles, probably in preparation for Ice Palace.
Oh, Ace doesn't have the hammer. Can't clear this dungeon. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
This hammer is really putting Matkap ahead at this point.
Okay. The one new thing we're going to see here on Ace's side is the pod big chest.
Yep.
And a couple new checks in Ice Palace that are hammer locked.
Ace does not even know that Eastern Palace is where it's at Dark Potion Shop. Getting into the Dark World over out of Palace of Darkness entrance chose to just hookshot over without taking a look at that entrance in Catfish. That's kind of the big difference here. Skullwood's small, not a big deal.
Yeah, so it's completely in logic now. Okay, assume that Ace is also setting up for a safe scum for the big key chest.
Yeah.
Not a mushroom in Ice H room, which is hammerlocked, so we know where the witch's hut is.
Yeah, and with the flippers, very quick turn in that mushroom. Magic Bat being at Ganon's tower makes you not really want to worry about doing a fake powder. So
Yeah, that seems like a little bit of a commitment.
yeah. And AceZer0 does save that key. Let's figure out where he's going next.
Yeah, sadly, his options are running low and lower now. We don't have a lot, like, we still just don't have any good connectors.
No. The 2-for-1.
I guess we do have the second chest in Castle Tower. But these are all these isolated checks that just take so long to get to.
Yeah, this is slim pickings.
Yeah, throughout the seat there were just so many small items that look like they might pull AceZer0 ahead in the race. And then it's just like slight sequences that turns out that it all just didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. You really need to push a block before that door opens again.
Yeah, the Pod Big Key not paying out. Bombo's not really paying out. As Matkap burning down Cold Stare. Let's see what this other hammer-locked item is. Just a compass, but it is crystal. Another one of our 5-6 crystals along Swamp House. And crystal number 3 for Matkap in this race.
Yeah, he'll be able to get Pod as well. He can finish Eastern whenever he wants, and then we don't know if Eastern is a crystal or pendant yet, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think we know on Pod either, so.
Oh, that's fair. But yeah, there's definitely some dungeons.
Honestly, at this point, I think GT is where you go.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That's a lot of items.
So many items, so many chances to get more knowledge on whether you actually need to rush over and do Eastern Palace or Pod.
Yeah, and there's no real need to commit to the climb yet either.
No, not at all. Where is Matkap? Mimic Cave. This is interesting prioritization.
Well, Ace does make his way over to Eastern finally.
Yeah, this is Ace will be able to clear this dungeon in one shot. We'll get that hammer and get to start playing a little bit of catch up again. Can't imagine he's gonna be happy when he sees this hammer.
No, that's definitely not a good feeling with the way Ice and Pod panned out so far. But it's cross keys, you're never completely out of the race. There's still a lot of items that we may need to find.
Absolutely. Our first look on Hylia upgrade cave. What we got inside here? Nothing.
The wrong Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, setting up a water walk. Didn't quite get enough of it though, it looks like.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. Gonna head under the bridge for our first look here. Probably the worst check in cross keys.
It's so hard to, like, unless you just have Flipper's Mirror and come from the Dark World, it's so hard to just commit to this. That's right. Okay. And it feels so bad too, because you know that your opponent can just check it at any point. So if there's something there, you never feel good about it.
Chat reminding us that one of the pseudo boots patch outs is no water walk.
I always forget about that. I always forget about it. At some point in the seed, you just assume that you have the boots.
Right, exactly.
Oh, interesting. Another one of those connectors.
Yeah, this could be a good connector. We'll see what this pops us out at. Good one for later to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
Not so good right now.
Not sure if we caught what was in the Eastern Big Chest.
Just 20 rupees.
Okay.
Matkap had the big key going. You just didn't have to finish up the gun.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think this is our first look at Zora, so...
This could be spicy. We've had rupee problems all seed long. Like, Ace still doesn't have enough.
And Zora coin gets you a GT small key.
Okay, I mean, that's not too bad. Really don't mind seeing that.
Remember, do not invest in Zora coin. It is a scam.
Wobble will burst any second now.
Absolutely.
Let's see, nice standard top right armor skill.
Nicely done. Fresh information here. 1 rupee and
one extra wall. One pendant indeed. Alright, one left between Pod Thieves and Turtle Rock.
It looks like Matkap is just going to go finish off Pod right now. Hard to blame him, but I still think GT is the play from this position.
Yeah, I don't really think you can blame someone for other choice, like just committing to dungeons that might be crystals is fine as well. But the sheer density of GT is just hard to overlook. There's still quite a few dungeons that we just haven't seen yet, right? Between Swamp, Mire.
We've not seen Swamp, we've not seen Mire, we've not seen the back of Desert, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think you're right about that one.
There's and a couple instances of Turtle Rock we've not seen yet.
Yeah, the 2 middle ones. Alright, last dip of Pond.
This makes more sense for Ace not knowing where GT's at. We'll be able to hop into the Dark World from that Cat Creek portal after this.
Ace has found GT though.
Oh, that's right, he did. Yeah,
he did a tall room.
Yeah, it doesn't have the fire rod from Turtle Rock. So.
Yeah, nice speed helmet tactic. Makes the second phase a lot easier. No arrows for AceZer0. Alright, we did get there. And the other pendant. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So Ace is gonna have full crystal information. So in a sense, that's a bonus, I guess.
Yes. And Matkap gonna get this last chest out of the back. Big key chest, big chest. You know, it's not much of anything in there.
So I guess the big question is when AceZer0 is gonna. Well, I guess if Ace goes back into the Dark World, he'll find Laser Bridge because that was hammerlocked.
Yeah, that was at Hammer House, so should be fairly quick to get to that. But how far he wants to dive into that dungeon, because that fire rod is deep into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, all the way in Lava Chest. Then I got 3 small keys. Like might start feeling more tempted. But we also have the entirety of GT, or almost the entirety for Ace. So there's just 2 big things waiting for Ace and Inverse Outcast. Yeah. 1 hour 18, still no mirror. All these death orbs are gonna take longer and longer at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely never picking up that red mail that's at AceZer0, because we'll have a mirror by then, but no one's going to want a death warp with red mail and 11, 12 hearts. Matkap going to get this second item out of Castle Tower. We know it's is that the second G2? No, Matkap has
I think it was
useful.
I think it was a compass.
Yeah, something not relevant.
Yeah, not a long death warp coming right up here. Oh, it's a bottle. That's right. Too many items.
Directly to the new information, so AceZer0 will get Laser Bridge here.
Okay, so rocks crystal. Oh, we didn't know that.
Yeah, Ace knows that.
Yeah.
Ace knows everything at this point. Matkap is still needs to know where that third pendant is. We know it's Eastern Palace.
He's finding the most important boomerang. Does look like we're going to at least see this chest. It's hard to be upset about how cheerful this MSU is.
Yeah, it is good vibes only. Especially since you're not having to deal with cheating AI from Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, very true. It's only cheating AI from guards and Helmasaur and all that.
Right. Ace is going pretty deep in here. We'll get that fire rod then.
Where goes it?
Oh, going west. West first is a little risky. You might get locked out, but I think Ace has seen that Bonk Rocks connector. So only a couple places where you get locked out at.
Yeah, there's still the both the Link's House, Bonk Rocks, there's GT, there's King's Tomb. But
yep.
Okay,
Floating Island is not one you're going to get locked out of. Yeah, go back. And Matkap does make his way to GT.
Still pseudo boots.
Nope.
It's not. It's nice that. It's nice that both the runners are just tired of not having boots at this rate. Yeah. There is one gap in GT that you can bonk over, which is nice. It's the run right before. Oh, okay. Well, there's the mids. Those are going to be very useful.
The GT small as well. That's our third.
Okay.
Ace is going to have to be careful getting to get the fire rod. If Ace continues on here, he's going to have to be a little bit careful trying to get this chain chomp chest down to 3 hearts.
Yeah, that's gonna be tight. Yeah,
Let's have that burn.
That's a safe play. Yeah, it should be safe now. Not sure if he's just immediately going to that fork here. I'm gonna go straight here. Don't get hit. Those
Pokey can, yeah.
Yeah, those Pokeballs can be very, very volatile. Oh, that Thieves map is pretty relevant information from Matkap.
Yeah. We'll be able to narrow it down at this point, though. We'll know that Eastern Palace is that last pendant.
Considering Ace had the Turtle Rock map, I would think that Matkap has it as well.
Yeah, I believe Matkap has it.
Oh no, not sure. Okay, I guess he did want to survive. I thought he was planning to set up a death warp here to go back to the left entrance, but alright, yeah. That was the useful bonk. See, nice Ars Armos here.
A little bit down to a heart and a half. Gonna be a little careful.
Okay, yeah, burn strats are very useful.
Burn strats are great.
Yeah, especially considering he does have a blue goo or two. Should be okay if he still wants to climb as well.
Let's see where Ace is heading. Looks like it's going to be into Village Outcast. Looks like it's going to be a trip to GT. So for all what we've seen so far, these two runners are still very close to each other.
Yeah, the big thing that separates them is the ice palace clear, I suppose, on Matkap's side.
Yeah,
like
that is
one extra crystal.
Yeah, that is the big split point here.
That could be kind of separated by Matkap climbing and AceZer0 kind of skipping it. We'll see.
Outer adventure for Matkap. AceZer0 gonna head to the left. Get those mids.
Aside from Smith's train though, those mids do surprisingly little at this rate. We don't have any way to get on top of Death Mountain yet. Just can't really open Turtle Rock. We don't have the flute for Wire.
We do have a way on top of Death Mountain. That west entrance, but the mids aren't required there, so.
Right, yeah.
More fresh information on Matkap's side. 4 checks incoming. Really nicely done in that salvos room. Thieves Town small. Not going to be believing that Thieves Town big chest era small. Not everyone would see that one.
Yeah, that's great. Love seeing it.
Did Matkap? Yeah, Matkap grabbed the big chest on the way out of
Yeah.
Ice almost. So, death warping here. Is he gonna climb? No climb. Climb right now.
No climb, somewhat reasonable, but the amount of options are dwindling nonetheless. We still haven't found any Paradox Cave entrance, have we?
Nope.
Yeah.
No Paradox Cave entrances. Other entrances we're looking for. We found Swamp. We've not found the dam yet. Or no, we did find the dam, didn't we?
I don't think
we have found the dam. No. So we have not found the dam yet to open up Swamp. We're still looking for the back Desert Palace.
Okay, that guy finally going to get his sword. He's going to be very happy about that.
And you
can't bonk
this. You can bonk this one. This is one you can bonk.
It's fine. It's A-okay.
Smith obtained. If I remember correctly, Smith was in a very bad location.
Okay, Ace does remember. Doesn't have enough arrows. Very good.
How's Berta though? So. Smith's were in a fine location, just no Mirror having to save him quick to take him home.
Yeah. Nice refund on the arrows. Alright. Guess we're just going to see the same thing from Ace doing the right side.
Big key. Misery Mire. That one is not what you're going to see.
Maybe. We don't know yet.
It's true. That big key is worth 1, 2, 3, 4 items.
Yeah, that's a lot of items for one big key. They're all very spread apart though.
Ace is gonna climb. This is our first big pointed version in a while.
Might over right side first as well. That's a play. Let's see the back of Skull Woods here as well. Ace might be very happy about skipping both the Feaststone small key and the Tower of Hera small key.
I know, I would be happy to never see those small keys.
A little bit of incidental damage here. Looks like he wants to take the safety room here on the right side.
Yeah. Is that bonkable?
I don't think so. Oh, it is?
It is. All right. Today I learned. Has hook shot to get back the other way. Definitely not bonkable the reverse direction.
Oh, Spy Cave. Interesting.
Arrows for Ace for a rim.
Oh, almost nice snipe there. Somehow the GT climb with anything less than Tempered Sword is awful. All these red Sazakes are the worst.
Yeah, I don't blame runners for busting out Bombos or U-turn here.
BMOs? Yeah, the BMOs. The worst. Matkap is in following connectors mode. We did see where this leads, but...
Oh, yeah, we're still hunting for Dam. We're still hunting for Desert House North. This isn't the worst idea.
Oh, this was the Harabiki. This was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Harabiki. So, we'll get this Bombos medallion, potentially at some point. Who knows? Has more reasons to head back over to Tarahera.
Yeah, definitely. With that small key as well. Might be a little bit more incentivized, but those are not too great checks to want to do. Might just be chasing it though.
It looks like it. This is the only thing left over here is Tarahera, so. Yeah, Tarahera right here at Dark 5.
Okay. Parallel new checks here. Top of GT.
How gross would a mirror here in Hera Base would be?
I don't even want to think about that. Pretty gross.
First two checks in the climb, nothing going for Ace. That's a compass, that's not good either.
Yeah, I don't know if that Bombos could still be necessary for either Myra or Total Rock entrance, but it's still on the cards. Ooh, rough Moldorm.
Moldorm 1, AceZer0. AceZer0. Matkap does not have enough magic to Samaria block this. Let's get the bomb to blow up to get this coffee break.
Everybody stay hydrated. Oh, the climb not bringing us anything. We'll have to see once we find the powder.
And Ace doesn't have the mushroom to fake powder this. Alright, moment of truth here for Matkap inside Hera basement. Just a compass.
Yeah, the potential answers are definitely dwindling at this rate. We might have to follow like the exit to Turtle Rock West, and then go up to Dark Death Mountain, go into like the Hookshot Cave entrance or something.
Yeah, a couple entrances there. What was that mushroom?
I think the mushroom was an Ice Palace, and
oh right,
yep. On the Hammerlocked room.
Hammerlocked in Ice Palace. Matkap, gonna head back to Village Outcast. Is this gonna be a GT climb, or is this gonna be investigating some purple entrances?
Yeah,
this is
looks like the latter. It does look like Turtle Rock here.
Have Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, very reasonable. Wouldn't be surprised if Ace finishes Ice first, but let's look back some other things first.
Trying to do the mental calculus of how to get on the mountain with no connector. I guess we do have a connector up there with back of Old Man.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we
with
haven't found
with
it.
no flute and no mirror, sometimes you just kind of gotta like do the math quickly to figure out what your quickest way to certain locations are.
Yeah, and
scanning.
sometimes taking a slower route immediately is better than just thinking 20 seconds
Right.
over what the best route is.
Right.
Cross keys is hard. Alright, Matkap, what do we have here?
Finding some fairies here and top of Super Bunny.
These are the only two possible things here. And there it is!
Misery Mire. Green pen, 9 items in total. I guess after that you just go beat Eastern if you don't find your answer here and prepare for a funny seed game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I expect we'll find something in here.
Yeah, at this point I expect something like mirror or flute in here. Like, it's hard to really expect it to be on pet or green pendant. Almost as relevant.
Last week that would have been great. This week, not so much. AceZer0 gonna pay off Sora. Get that second GT, or get a third GT small.
Remind me again where that Meyer Big was. That's in Matkap side.
I don't remember. Was that on? It wasn't on Colt Stair, was it?
I didn't think it wasn't ISO. Maybe it was.
No, I don't think it was in Cold Stair. I forget where Meyer Big was at. It was very recent. It was after his GT dip. So.
Oh, it might have been.
That was in. Yeah, Smith Chain gave us that. GT right side had. Was that the Desert Small? So that's a couple more checks.
Yep.
GT right side, Flower of Hera Small and Thieves House. Sia Shield. AceZer0 getting de-equipped.
He wants. Okay, I thought he went back to try to kill the enemy, but he's fine with the lag reduction until he finds his mirror shield.
Nice rail clip there from Matkap. Makes this dungeon even faster.
Yeah, it's a nice nifty time save. This Mario not giving us the goods.
Yeah, item 1 of 4 of that big key, just a piece of art.
No. Okay, so Vidi it is in one of many ways.
Gonna be a very laggy Vidi fight. As our big safety, not a lot of health. 30 arrows isn't enough to do the job on its own.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with activating Burn and just dashing left and right 20 times.
No. No. Remember, kids, you don't look cool if you're dead.
No shame in using safety.
Absolutely not. Matkap he does have blue potions too, so
Okay, so Ace gonna do GT right side here.
Yep. Get the 2 small keys out of there. And let the dashing begin.
Pretty easy to def warp back with 4 hearts as well.
Yep. Using that blue potion, switch into spins, into phase 2.
Yeah, good 55.
Yeah, just 20 rupees there. Item number 2 for that Misery Mire big key. Just does pick up the green pendant, and just rush over to Saha, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
You're actually in a very good location to rush over to Saha.
You can just dash for the Lionels. Alright. We are getting Smith Chain probably here on Ace's side.
That
Very
Mire big
reasonable.
key.
Yeah, if he does it the other way around, it would be a little bit of a shame. Or very unfortunate, rather. Oh?
That's nothing.
That's
If there's
nothing.
anything at yeah. We've already seen what's in Lumberjack. It's nothing of note. I think it was just a mat, more correctly. Matkap, this may be a rush over to Eastern Palace.
Surprise me. It's either that or GT Climb, I think. I'm not exactly sure what else he would have left. Oh, this is pretty unfortunate on Ace's side. I really think that he might just dive Mire.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think we've seen Purple Chest yet, have we?
We've not. Yeah, Matkap rushing over to Eastern Palace. One item on the box, and then one item on that pedestal.
Everyone clears everything, and in the end, it's a pet seed.
Yeah. And somehow it's less gross than if it would just ended up being in Hera Basement.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't blame you, Ace. I wouldn't want to dive that either.
It's going in, unfortunately.
I mean, you really can't blame him.
No, you definitely can't blame him. Doesn't know that the big key is literally behind him.
Yeah. Brock's just like, yeah, I have what you need right here. I just can't get it out of my back pocket.
A cap through Armor Saints, grabs pendant number 3.
Probably said quitting and heading straight to bed at this rate. So I didn't really keep up with like map tracks or something, but I think it's really just this or purple chest, right?
I think so.
Oh, we do have desert right side.
We do have 2 checks in desert right side, yes. So Matkap did find that desert small key. Ooh, that was here in Meyer.
The lack of proper movement in this seed, and that's been pretty disgusting. No mirror, no feet, no actual boots.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that can kind of wear on you mentally during a race. If you're just having to figure out, I got to figure out my route every time, or I got to go through this dungeon every time to get through the road. Does weigh on you a little bit and could affect your decision making later in the seed.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing behind that desert palace small key.
Really does. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a pedestal check for Matkap.
Yeah. Very reasonable check at this rate.
AceZer0 finishes off what he can do in his Mire. And gonna bring that Smith back and be might see some anger slashes. I would be anger slashing, seeing this big key show up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would focus on purple chest first, just to not immediately have to go back through all the way through Turtle Rock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, worst pull from Pet here would probably be the mirror, because it opens up so much.
Yep. And it is 10 big arrows. So it's purple chests. AceZer0 might get paid off here.
Okay. That's nuts. That's crazy. I really thought it would be Pet.
Me too.
Sometimes you think that the seed screams something, but where's
he's going?
This led to Death Mountain, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on here. Matkap, I'm just gonna grab this purple chest because I don't think there's anything else for Matkap to do.
He does have GT climb, yeah, but other than that.
Hey, this Uncle start or this Matt start kind of interesting. One check. What did we miss? Because that ain't it either.
Uh-oh. All right, runners, you better show us what it is, because I don't know anymore.
What did...
Oh, mushroom turn-in. Okay. Yeah.
Mushroom turn-in. There we go.
Okay. Okay, Ace is finishing up ice. That makes sense. No, I was being silly. He still has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ace couldn't have done that yet. He's gonna find the mushroom in just a little bit, and we'll see how quickly he chases that.
Ace might just fake power.
Oh, that's very true. It would be funny if that were the answer.
There's the mirror. Hooray. It kind of had to be that. It was either that or fluke.
Yeah.
Mirror gives us a bunch of entrances. And we're still looking for a dam to open up Swamp Palace. And we're still looking for the north side of Desert Palace.
So, by the way, where was that Turtle big key? Is it just not marked on Matkap's side? I'm not sure if he has that or not.
I think Matkap has it. I'm not positive. If we ever get a pause screen, we can look at it. Chicken Hut sitting on top of Tower Hair. Just a piece of her. AceZer0 getting that mushroom made of reflective surfaces.
Yeah, we can follow all these connectors up to Turtle Rock Bridge, Bumper Ledge. We found that one as well. Oh, there's the flute right there. Okay, we do know how to get there though, so that's good.
That's Turtle Rock West. That'll be an easy pickup. If we need to, I think knowing where that's at, Matkap is just going to push all these mirror entrances, anything that he hasn't done, and save that for last. Hopefully just to find another way into Meyer connector.
Yeah, and after all this, like, we already said it a couple times, but still no paradox, and there could be a bunch of items in there too. We don't even need that much more though. It's really just...
We need a Thief's big key. We need a Desert big key.
And the Ice Rod.
We need an Ice Rod. Of course we need an Ice Rod. Why wouldn't we need an Ice Rod? It's random. AceZer0 taking on Cold Stare, takes me down. Get that crystal. Quake was the answer for Turtle Rock, which gets us nothing. So I don't
Herpes in here, I think.
I think there's like $20. Oh, $5 even better. Is going to take the connector back. This went back out to West, I thought.
To Turtle Rock Bridge.
To Turtle Rock Bridge, that's right. So we'll get Mimic Cave here. And conveniently, we'll get top Spiral Cave.
Yeah, he's quickly checking right side desert. No, we'll just have to hope that he's quick with the mushroom turning.
Yeah.
Instead of following the 4 items that the Meyer Big gives.
There's Desert North, no big key yet, but is that on the Light World side or Dark World side?
That was the Light World side, so you can't.
Okay, that's right. We did see the Dark World side earlier. That was the Turtle Rock big key. So that one's not too bad to get to. Ace heading into the Dark World. Is this going to be fake powder?
Oh, definitely might be. Yeah, that would be very reasonable. We know that even though it is kind of a lengthy chain, the powder is accessible.
Yep. Yeah, now we got that mirror. That powder's in logic.
Yeah, time to burn that magic. Okay, so he is grabbing the flute here.
Yeah, rush into the flute.
Fake power leading us to
nothing.
Yeah, the amount of possible outs for Ace are definitely dwindling.
Yeah. A big key there would have been nice, but I have a soft spot in my heart for fake powder. Did get our team a win earlier this week.
Nice. Already used to it once Ace tends to just do the intended drop off. Matkap setting the world on fire.
This is gonna be Hera.
The Hera basement.
I mean, you don't want to go and check Misery Mire. Now you've already been in there. This doesn't seem great.
In a way,
we know it's nothing, but it just still doesn't seem great from a density perspective.
I think at this point, Ace is mostly going for the low percentage plays that he assumes that Matkap wouldn't really pull off. So in that sense, I can see where he's coming from.
It's reasonable, yeah.
Not even getting the coffee break.
Have a very active lunch.
Yeah, throughout most of the seed, I personally would say that most of AceZer's plays I've seen pretty reasonable, even if they didn't pan out or if they were unfortunate sequences. It really is just the leaving Dark Witch's Hut behind and Catfish that was really, really punishing. Just because it took so long, it was such a long sequence to get back to that area. Matkap following this connector right to Dark Bumper Ledge.
Another fresh cave here. Yeah, at this point we just need to find the dam, and we need to find a couple big keys and an ice rod.
That's not a bad refill.
I've already spent your Zora money. Might as well pick up some extra bombs, extra arrows, refill your inventory. This looks like it's probably going to be purple chest for Ace.
Yeah. No GT. Oh, is this going to be Meyer anyway? Ooh.
Yep. Oh, that's unfortunate. Nothing at Graveyard Ledge.
That's the brunt of locations in my area.
So, yeah. I think that's everything for mirror checks, too. So, grabbing the food early ends up paying off for Matkap. It's got to be somewhere here in Meyer.
Did we see the left side race game?
Oh, we did not. That is the one entrance that Matkap did not do.
Not that we need it. Matkap is closing in on the 20 hearts, by the way.
Yes. Not seen since Retro Speak.
I would definitely hope that you don't see 20 hearts in co-op records. That's not a good sign.
No.
But we might have needed that bombos anyway, so Matkap might have gotten bailed out by his early full return. Oh, never mind.
Lots of items here.
Must feel good finding it after 2 hours.
First 2 checks, nothing going.
Alright, 5 more. Great. Well
Nothing
then!
in Paradox. Wow.
Love to see it.
see 7 items, 0 payoff. No interest in the connectors right now. Does check the connector. That's no good. I wouldn't be bothering with these connectors.
No, there's not much more that you really want to follow. Like it's so possible that this puts you out of bonk rocks.
Desert East here, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, either of like the Link's House bonk rocks also would have been possible. That would have felt much worse. We're just gonna flute back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's probably faster. He's almost done with Misery Mire, that green pendant. Pendant number 3. There's the dam, so that opens up Swamp Palace.
Oh, unfortunate.
I'm very unfortunate on that.
Yeah, I definitely prefer mirroring here. Oh, that's the wrong big key, but might as well. If we're going into swamp anyway.
Is that our last blank? That is our last blank. Alright. 2 big keys left. We need them both.
Yeah, still the 2 big keys and the ice rod. And at this rate, I think we might need the boots for an entrance, right? No.
No, we are done in entrances now. Fine.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not sure if Matkap realizes that or not. Might as well check here at what single item entrances are left.
Yeah, I've not been following the amount of single items.
I can barely do that when I'm playing. I expect that out of me from. It's just nothing.
I guess it has to be swamp at this rate.
Yeah. Time to try and remember where swamps. Oh, check the dam item. Sure, just 20 rupees. Swamp was somewhere in Kakariko. Nearby. Ace can run across and turn in the screen pendant and get disappointment.
Yeah, disappointment and then double disappointment from Ped.
And I'm not sure what Ace has left after this other than Mushroom.
And so far, my amount of locations that were still possible have been very incorrect, so I don't dare say that he has nothing left.
Right.
Okay, one more entrance check here from Matkap. Now I'm actually curious if I was correct in seeing swamp so far. But
we did see swamp. It was I know we saw swamp. It was empty, obviously, because we hadn't found the dam, but I don't remember quite where. Matkap is playing this like he doesn't know where swamp is. Maybe Ace is the only runner that saw swamp. But I just can't imagine where that would be at that Matkap did not find.
yeah, exactly.
All right, Ace.
Okay.
Feeling good. Feeling good about this, but it's just 10 arrows.
Last spot.
Last possible.
Ace. Back to the Dark World. Hey, our
swords and logic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really like we've seen this entire game. That technically puts our second sword in logic 2 hours and change in. right now our runners are still on Master Sword Silverless. It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, we had so much so early, in a way.
Chest for Ace. Find out that this is just some catch. And then hopefully he goes and turns that mushroom in.
Yeah, I can't imagine the seed feeling good anywhere near this point. For neither runner, to be honest. Like, they both have had some really unfortunate sequences throughout this seed, but
Absolutely.
Ace really got the short end of the stick. Oh, we got our boots.
At this point, they're not worth much of anything. We know there's a small key on GT Torch that is not relevant at all. Not entrance hunting.
Yeah, I think that small key has to be the Turtle Rock small. I don't think we have any other smalls left.
I believe you're correct at this point.
Oh, he still had Mimicate as well. Dang.
Yeah. Matkap going to do left side. Still hunting for 3 things. Those 2 big keys and Ice Rod. Cannot imagine not doing these 2 checks while you're here.
Yeah, it's so tempting to go straight to the back, but then if you find one of them...
The boots do give us one thing, that's that book and library for 2 more checks.
Oh no!
Oh no is correct.
James, no.
Listen, the seed has asked so much of our runners so far. Why not ask a little more? Mushroom turned in for Ace. Gonna rush over.
Alright, that's one of our items.
That's one of our items. Ice Rod and Left Side Swamp.
2 big keys left. Oh, that's a nice temper, too. That's nice to find. Now we're all set.
Yeah, a little comfier now. Feeling bad because it took the better part of your day to find Swamp Palace. Find the dam to get into Swamp Palace.
Hey, he's finally getting to his mirror.
Yeah.
Now
needs to rush and go get that flute.
I appreciate it, Ace. Yeah, that one has been accessible for a little bit for Ace, but at some point during a seed, you kind of have to go. If it's there, it's probably not good for me, so I'm gonna leave it. It's just unfortunate the way Rando goes.
You can't check everything and hope to win. There's one of our big keys. That's Thieves Town. Desert to go.
Lots of possibilities for Matkap now. He'll probably just finish all of the dungeons. And then he might commit to the book. If he still remembers that it's there after the better part of 2 hours.
Yeah. Maybe this is why you have this cheery music for red entrance modes. You just can't be too tilted off listening to this.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Okay. No attempt at a 0 cycle here. We're just gonna have a nice comfy Argus. Just hook and slash.
Ice Rod, a man of taste for this big kill.
Ice cream is way better than off food.
And off to Thieves Town we're gonna go. First, we're gonna grab a book.
Okay.
Because it's right here. That works out really well, actually.
He remembered.
He's choosing not to head back to Turtle Rock Ledge to check the checks there.
I was low on bombs again.
Yeah. Thiefstown was in here in... I'm going to finish up Trinex for sure while we're here. Thiefstown was fairly early in this seed.
Yeah, it was...
I don't remember if it was Kakariko or along the way.
I think it was Kakariko, but I might be getting seed bleed from watching different seeds today.
Tempered Sword, Half Magic, Trinex gonna go down very quickly.
Yeah, it should be 0 flower bombs here.
Phase 1 down. Phase 2 coming up.
Alright, very nice.
Well done, Matkap. Pick up crystal number 6.
5. Crystal number 5.
Number 5. Sorry, number 5. Along with
AceZer0. Nice. Okay.
Remember how we were like an hour into the seed and Matkap had 3 crystals, and now we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and we just got crystal number 5.
Yeah, and we're still not in go mode. And the desert bit could be anywhere still?
Literally anywhere, yeah. AceZer0 gonna go get this fleet. Matkap gonna head into Thieves Town. 4 more checks in here. And if it's not in here, then we start digging for entrances again, because there's Turtle Rock East for an item, at least.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Turtle Rock East is definitely one thing. Matkap still has the powder, which he doesn't know leads to nothing. The GT climb as well.
Yep, GT climb.
And then there's the 2 groups. Yeah. I'm sure that there's still this one item location that I forgot about that's like some random bonk rocks that we haven't seen yet.
Probably. Very nice pixel for Matkap there in Hellway.
Yeah, very clean. Let's see what Ace is up to right now. Probably gonna check the top. Okay, this was the desert. Yeah.
Doesn't have the big key. He's gonna turn right back around.
Let's see, is there an easy connector here back to Kakariko? I don't think so.
Not on this side of the mountain. There's one on the other side, but or no, that was one way. That was super. So. Yeah, Kakariko is just very inaccessible up until you get that flute.
Yeah, it's been very rough for Ace, trying to find all the proper connectors and stuff. Those really show, like, how useful the experience is with cross keys, being able to parse what connectors work out.
Yeah.
Alright, did we need right side GT? Big question right here. We didn't.
No, no, absolutely not. But it's out of Matkap's mind now, out of his pocket, and take this maiden up here for a blind fight. Crystal number 6 and 1 more item, and then the hunt begins again.
Still a couple of boots entrances that Matkap can follow as well.
Yeah, it's just hard to see. It's hard to see Ace doing anything differently than Matkap at this point. Might skip some entrances here, knowing that he's technically in just item mode. Entrances are done. It is not on blind, so we are now on the hunt for Desert Palace Big Key with some really fantastic options. We got 2 tablets. There's a Turok East somewhere that is worth 1 item, and then whatever item caves are left that you take chances on with these bonk rocks and such.
That's very difficult for Ace, because he might just be at the point where he feels that skipping something is not going to be enough, so he might just full clear because he just has to hope that Matkap skips something.
Yeah, at this point he's got to hope for Matkap to try and climb GT. There's Turok East, so this is 1 item. It's not the answer.
Nice to find it so early though. Alright. Thinks I was bonk rocks. And there's the dark variation too. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
I think for Matkap's side at this point, you're thinking, if it's GT climb, I've lost. Whether or not he's looking at the race room or not to see if this race is still going on, but if it is on the GT climb, this heat has got to be over at this point. So why worry about it? I'll do everything else before that.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. At this point in the seed, I think like all rationale goes out of the window anyway.
Oh yeah.
There's a point in the seed where it's like, if it's duration longer than X, you just never feel good anymore.
Yeah.
You always just talk your way into some route that your opponent has taken that must be better than whatever I did.
I think everyone does that unless you're like Andy. Taint? That's not worth anything.
Just follow that connector. Got it from the other way around.
Yeah. This looks like Ace is gonna head to Swamp. Dark Link bonk rocks here. This isn't it.
So then there is Ether Tablet, right?
Ether Tablet.
And Big Bomb?
Ether Tablet and Big Bomb, yep. Matkap's gonna grab that powder, possibly. This is Big Bomb. I'm gonna grab Big Bomb first.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Matkap still following entrances makes me think that there is still an item location out there that I've forgotten about. Oh wow, that's one snipe.
You know, it's just like, oh, you think you're gonna hook dash this? No, absolutely not. The next one is nice enough to despawn though.
Yeah, sadly Ace is just too far behind and there aren't enough entrances or locations left for Matkap to really follow.
Yeah. There's 2 items here. It's
okay.
vanilla. There it is. Desert Palace Big Key. 2 hours, 22 minutes, 10 seconds.
At least check the other one for silvers. Doesn't matter. Matkap's in go mode.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have checked the other one for silvers myself, but Matkap doesn't need them. I hope Ganon says, did you find the silvers in Dark World?
quickly dashing his way over the Death Mountain Bridge, over to the Spiral Cave entrance.
Looks like Ace skipped left side swamp, so it's going to miss out on that big key. That's super.
Oh, that's not great.
There's nothing else to do. He's going to have to come back in. So it does get the boots. Oh, there's the Thieves Town big key. What was it the boots on the left side?
It was the Ice Rod.
Oh, the Ice Rod. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the risk we were talking about going to the back first. It's so easy to talk yourself out of not doing left side after.
Yeah, I can't imagine ever not doing left side when you need 3 items. And swamp is literally the only thing you have left.
Oh no, he doesn't get the sword either for the comfy Argus fight. Master Sword Argus is so awful.
Still an improvement from last week. Argus.
Yes. I can't deny that one. Oh, dude,
There's the silver.
Anyway.
What a sicko.
Never punished.
Sicko.
So unfair. You don't have the comfiest Ganon fight in existence.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of, time to head to the castle. Off to storm the castle.
These crosskeys seeds always escalate so fast. It was only like 2 hours in that we had 4 crystals, and now we're still 3 items away from go mode, and then we're just done.
Yeah,
it's great.
He's grabbing that book. It's not needed.
Nice frame roll through the bats. Not that it really matters if you have 19 hearts, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, Ace leaves behind the Ice Rod and the sword. It doesn't matter. Matkap will be done any moment now.
Yeah.
Lines up for... Oh, this should at least be a double. Don't think a triple's in the cards here. That's still a good warp for the fourth shot.
Get your GGs ready in chat, because we do have a winner today. Matkap gonna take Bolas and Azules, 21 points. Feeling pretty safe at this point. GGs to Matkap, winner today. Official time of 2 hours, 26 minutes, 27 seconds. Thanks to racetime.gg. And AceZer0 gonna clear out the rest of Thieves Town here. We'll see when he gets back to Swamp. But big win for Bolas Azules. Tough matchup next week with OK Gang. Who's at 18 points. 1-1 should be good enough for Bolas Azules playoffs. What happened? Boxes and top runes here in the division. Big step forward to making playoffs for Matkap, the team.
Yeah, some killer matchups left in the last week, but with this win, they definitely made great strides in order to almost secure playoffs, I feel. And they've deserved it. They've had some really, really good games over the course of this season. So looking forward to what else they can bring when they're going to playoffs, most likely.
Yeah, and all the teams that are going to make playoffs invitational are super scary. I think those are three runners that I know don't necessarily get the same level of credit that some of the other teams do. I know the Spanish community, talented runners in it. It'd be nice to see what they can do in playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've known Azules and Matkap a little bit from previous years. Azules has been quite a long time runner in both Rando and NMG, but yeah, they've definitely all shown up. So.
Yeah, and I got to play against Kata a couple times in the main tournament this year. Definitely a talented runner in his own right. As AceZer0 picks up Thieves Town Crystal. Crystal number 5 for him.
Yeah, I almost hope that he's going to go back to the swamp before finding the Desert Palace big, but at this point, it's going to be pretty much a full clear, despite everything we've already done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hard to ask him to go back and get those last 2 items in swamp when you've made your decision to skip something at the end of the seed, and it's those.
And the worst part is that both the swords are behind left side as well, so it's going to be a Master Sword for even a little longer. Yeah, it was definitely a seed. Like, I'm glad I didn't have to play this one. But I'm great. I'm very glad that both.
This one is
a great show.
Lot more fun to be in the booth on this one than to be racing it. That is for sure.
I'm not sure if we can already get Matkap in while we're waiting for Ace to find his go mode. I'm not sure what the plan is regarding that.
I think the Matkap is. I know that Bolas Azules, the Spanish group, does their own restream, so I think he's probably doing an interview over there. We'll see if we can get him on here as well.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's very reasonable. Even more great credits music here.
Yeah. Diddy Kong Racing soundtrack is so fun. So good. This is going to be big bomb for Ace. Going to get that Desert Big Key. Maybe this is big bomb. I don't know.
Maybe after we get the bonk rock checks here.
Yeah, that's true. This love bonk rock checks. Yeah, with Ace hunting for 3 items still. 2 items still. The Ice Rod and that Desert Big Key.
Yeah, this does look... Okay, I spoke too soon. Oh, we're gonna get Bombos check here. Oh, this all makes sense. Like, there's just so many spread out locations left. It's really the name of this seed.
Just kind of a mess in terms of trying to do anything efficiently with Mirror being as late as it was where it was.
Yeah.
Flute being where it was and as late as it was, and Lock Rider.
Yeah, everything was in such a chain. Like, the mids were behind the hammer. Then the hammer also locked the mushroom, which led to the mirror, which led to the flute, and
Should have Matkap in here in a couple minutes. Talk about this one. And while we wait for that, let's take a look at what's on the schedule for the rest of the day today. 2 days left in Cross Keys Week. Nothing on Restream lineup so far, but in the Invitational we do have Humbug versus Iker starting at a little after 3 Eastern. And then Hitsu and Dominator starting at just after 5. And then in the Open League, we've got several races. Keep an eye on speedgaming.org. Look for those restreams if they do show up. $191, classic low collection rate.
Yeah, very reasonable collection rate. Like, what a jet seed. Alright, this does look like we're gonna get our big key. It's a desert.
Yeah.
In the same way that Matt approached it.
So, Randomizer week coming up next week. Who's running for your team, Mary?
All of us are going to at least do one race. I think Dante is doing 2 of them. But he's gonna run with both of us. I'm definitely somewhat looking forward to Randomizer. It's not my favorite mode, but
yeah, it's
once in a while.
It's frustrating at times, but at least it's a good laugh. Like, you're never like too upset about what's going on, unless it's oops all Lionels.
Oops all
hello?
Triaxes. Hey Matkap, welcome. GG's.
Hey, Yeri, James, thank you so much. That was quite a seed.
Definitely an adventure for both of you. Yeah, the seed told you to do a lot of things, and none of them actually paid off. It ended up being that mushroom blocking.
Yeah, because the mushroom wasn't in ice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and ice did feel like quite good after getting the fire on and everything. I probably should have just pushed it, but I don't know. There was so much stuff to do, and in the end it was like, okay, I'm just missing this one connector in Turtle Lock just in case, and suddenly Meyer is there, completable and everything. And then I'm just missing like Eastern, and it's like I have every single key, everything's logic. I don't know. Pet just looked like something, and yeah, after Pet, that felt so scary, to be honest, because it was like I've just wasted so much time.
Yeah, it ended up the first half of this you kind of turned on. You and Ace ended up both getting into the Dark World with Moon Pearl at about the same time, heading over to that connector over in Palace of Darkness. And Ace decided to go for the entrance density and headed immediately over across the water. You checked out at Eastern Palace in the back camera, which allowed you to only double dip Palace of Darkness, and you got Ice in one go. And Ace ended up having to do multiple dips in both those dungeons.
Yeah, that felt very good. I almost skipped Eastern, but I don't know. I just felt like, but probably wasn't even that true, but I just felt like in the early game, like Hyde Cave, Mini Moldron Cave, all that stuff just had turned out like more or less nicely, and I just said like, let's just clear and everything, play through, and yeah, and I hope it goes well. And yeah, obviously when I found the hammer in the first chest, that was like, okay, this was the play. Like even if the bow is like somewhere, which was the case, like I mean, it's still worth it probably.
Yeah, we saw you go in just as Ace picked up that bow, and it was like, oh, wow, this could work out really well for Ace. And then you pick up the hammer, and it's not as much. But yeah, I can imagine how frustrating this seed was for your guys' seeds, not being able to having that mirror super late, and then the flute locked in the mirror. So all of your travels throughout the seed were very long, and one that really taxes mental stamina.
Yeah, especially because I mean, obviously, pseudo boots helps a lot for this kind of seeds. Like, I don't know how much I like it to be honest, but I mean, you definitely like it in one of these seeds since you would have gotten the boots so late. But yeah, like I was feeling more or less good. But yeah, after a pedestal, that was like really discouraging because it was like I don't know, I feel so behind. And first, I delayed GT, in part because I only had one key. I don't know. I just said, let's see what's here. And because I didn't really want to go into GT with only a lamp, just in case. I don't know, because that's the kind of thing, if you suddenly just miss, you start losing a ton of time. And yeah, suddenly finding Fire Rod after that in GT also felt very well. I don't know. And at the end, like, I don't know, left side, which was obviously very important in the end. I don't know. It was like, this has been so terrible. I'm still missing 2 or 3 items, and I really didn't want to go back to GT. GT was like so scary throughout all the seed.
Yeah, and we are joined now by AceZer0 as well. Playing it out. This was quite the adventure, Ace.
Yeah, it was really bad. I guess first off, GG's, Matkap.
GG's, Ace.
The seed was definitely not ideal, and there were a couple things I did that were, I don't know, I played a little bit lower skill than I think I usually do. I had a lot of trouble with my D-pad, a lot of weird things there, but not like anything significant. Honestly, this hinged so much on not going to the Dark Witch's hut, which was like the only thing I did that I think was like a legitimate like routing mistake, that I just forgot to check that before crossing over the river. And I realized right after I hookshot it across, and it was like, oh, well, I can't go back. I don't have flippers yet. I'm just going to kind of write that off as nothing, and surely it won't burn me. But
Sure.
not only did that have the hammer, which made it really bad that I went into ice and then did all the connectors to get to the overworld for Dark World a couple more times, but it made it so when I finally did go back to ice, I intentionally put that off, hoping like, okay, maybe I can get ice with like, you know, tempered sword or gold sword, make a super easy cold stare, just kind of coast through it at the end. But then I got the mushroom and was like, well, I'm really late to this mushroom. I better not waste the time turning that in. I'm sure that's going to be nothing.
So it all escalated from there.
And then, yeah, last location, my mirror. And then I don't know if it's caught up on Restream or not, but last location, my ice rod, too. Which means I knew for a fact where the last 2 swords were going to be, because they were the only 2 locations left.
Yeah, you'd climbed a GT and even done a fake powder burst with that mushroom, and just none of the decisions of over clearing ended up paying off for you today, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then the couple of skips that you did end up making were the actual items between like the Witch's Hut and Left Side Swamp. But, like at that point, like Left Side Swamp obviously didn't really matter anymore at that point, but it doesn't feel great.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I don't know, and that the Dark Witch's Hut was, like I said, that was just 100% a mistake. I didn't even think like, I don't know, it's just kind of in like normal muscle memory. Like you check Pyramid and in not entrance seed, you just, if you're going to continue clearing like West Dark World, you just go up and across the river. And I forgot, entrances. How was the early game? How did that match up? Like getting to Pearl and Dark World, stuff like that.
Matkap had the Pearl first. You had knowledge of how to actually get to the Dark World first, through the Hyrule Castle connector. It was pretty even. It was honestly at any point up until Matkap turned the mushroom in, he could have chosen to climb GT and things would even themselves back out. So it was still very close at that point.
Okay,
Yeah, the
that's good.
mushroom was like my last location, I think. In like
Yeah, I think
besides GT.
yeah, you saw the GT climb, but everything else you'd done. So even up to that point, if you turn that mushroom in early after getting Ice Palace, the things even out quite a bit. But uh, once that got put off, it was just a little too much to make up. There weren't enough places to make up time at that point.
Yeah, the very early game definitely was just a little bit back and forth. You had the very early sword, Matkap, the late like Haro Castle for a little bit. So it was like you ended up overlapping a lot of things, just doing it in a different order. But yeah, like James said, once you entered the pod area, it was definitely around the same time. Maybe some small differences in which like connectors you followed and back. But then the big difference ended up being the Eastern Palace.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we thought that after Dark Shopping Mall, when you were hesitating on the save and quit, and then you went back out, and it looks like you were going to take the portal back to like Northeast Dark World, and then go to Eastern and Catfish. But then you ended up taking like a different entrance, and and then you save and quit out of there, and that was like the big decision point in my mind.
Yeah, I forget what like held me up or what changed my mind there, but it I don't know. I hit a couple points where it funneled down enough that it's like, well, everything I can do is bad, so which bad thing do I want to do first? Like the Meyer big key, that was really funny. I don't know how Matkap found that, or like did you do Meyer Matkap at all?
Yeah, I also found Myra like kind of late because that was Turtle Rock West, the connector, I believe, right? That was like
Yeah.
one of the other things because the Hyrule Castle connector as well. I feel like I did like all of those things like really late, like when it was. I had like 3 or 4 times the decision. Okay, so just go to GT or go to look for something weird, and in the end, like the mirror opened and that obviously opened all the seat. And even at the end, it was like, okay, I have like 3 or 4 random entrances, like the entrance into behind Boots, Pyramid Ferry, and nothing else. And of course, GT Climb. And I was only looking for Desert Big. So I don't know. At that point, I didn't think there was even any entrances with items left because I'm not tracking that, which I don't know. I felt really bad about it, like because I was thinking like, oh my god, if I had this information, like maybe GT was 100% the play right now. But I don't know. At least it was there. Like when I just found the key and I just said, okay, GT was not required. That was like, okay, at least I skipped that. But yeah, it could have been really bad.
Yeah, Matkap did have the Meyer big key before heading in there, and it was just walking behind Ace.
Yeah, I know. I had the Smith the whole time, and then immediately turned in the Smith to get the Meyer big key right after. It's one of those unfortunate things that happens, but I thought it was funny. I was actually one good thing. When I did Skull Woods and I got like the first cycle on the hand getting grabbed in the pinball room, I was really excited about that because I usually am not fast enough to open the chest and get grabbed like that.
Yeah, that's always a great feeling. That's nice.
Yeah. But no, it was a fun seed, fun race.
And digging game was really funny as well. If the chess game left me without money, I couldn't do it for ages, and then the sword was there. But I mean, at least it was not anything more important.
Oh, you didn't have money for dig game for a while? Is that
No, because I got that connector somewhat early, I think, and I just follow it, and I just went into Bombs Hut, and I mean, I did realize that it was okay. Let's just get money or something, but I had like 90 rupees, so I went back down to 60, and I couldn't do the digging game like until way later, because at least I did it like with the smithing or something, and I don't know, that it turned out more or less okay.
Oh, you know, that makes sense. I actually, my first time hitting the Dark World around there, I took instead of going like west to check Stumpy and dig game and stuff, I took the connector that was at Hype Cave through to wherever that led me, and I didn't want to backtrack through, so I was just like, I'll just save and quit and try to get to dig game later, and it kind of worked out.
Yeah,
I don't know if I had
yeah.
the rupees. I think I did, but it would have been pretty close.
Those rupees were definitely a problem throughout the seed until you got to GT. I think there were a couple 300s in there. But until that point, like it was pretty hard to get to Zora money.
Yeah, which made the flippers kind of weird because it was like, well, I don't really want to do all the flipper checks because I don't have Zora money. So I tried to wait until I had mirror for the most part to do like, catfish into the Zora area. Eventually had to bail on that idea.
All right, 1 week left for both you guys. Animizer coming up. Have you guys figured out your teams for Animizer week yet?
Yeah, no, well, we're not totally sure because Asafsa's SD2S net seemed to had like a problem in SG Live and the USB port wasn't working properly, so maybe he wasn't playing, but now he's got it fixed, so we're not sure because we already all played like the 5 games, so yeah, probably like just all play and maybe I'll play both. I'm not sure.
And Ace?
I believe Fataka and Azure are going to take both the games that week. I'm not the best at Animizer, and I guess that means that I have gone winless this season. But oh well.
Yeah, a bit of a surprising
rough.
season for your team, but like it's all the divisions are so stacked, and just a couple of coin flips can makes things look a lot worse than they actually are.
Yeah, the divisions are tough in general, and I think that just some of the modes are a little bit less favorable to our team versus like some other modes that like just things that we're not familiar with practicing specifically that I think a lot of other players are. But that's how it is. Some modes are going to be better for some people than others, even at like relatively the same skill level. So
yeah, for sure.
Let's just get
fun.
SMC3 in league.
There we go. then our team, I
That'll
think,
be
will do
fun.
pretty well.
Yeah, I think your team will be pretty good in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
gonna have to practice some more SM.
Yeah, I'm really bad, but I would just leave that week to my team, and I'm good, I think. So that's good. So yeah, thank you so much for restream and commentary on the league as always, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, I'll just echo the same thing. GG's again, Matkap. Good luck going forward. Thanks, guys.
Good luck to everyone in the last week.
Yeah, and don't forget to use these runners of fall. Putting on a great show for us. Week to go, over a 2 week period in the league, and we'll see what they do in those last couple of races. Also, want to give a big shout out to our trackers today. So last summer, making sure we can just focus on calling the match, getting things squared with what we see, and our Terrell volunteered to do the restream. Big thanks to him as well. Ari, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks so much.
lot more fun watching this one than playing it would have been.
It would have been a great seed to play if it wasn't the race.
Yeah. This is one of those that's going to get redeemed in probably several runners channels if Ace or Matkap want to stick this on some runners. So
I think I'm just gonna steal the permalink from the race time chat. But yeah, thank you so much for co-commenting. It was great. I'm glad that you were able to jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, nothing else on the schedule today so far. But if you watch speedgaming.org, get another race up there. Or if you're in the Discord for the league, You'll be able to see what races are coming up. That's gonna be it for today. Error, thank you. Everyone watching, thank you. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.